Hello and welcome to the lecture series on power electronics. We were discussing uninterrupted power supplies. I told you that for certain type of critical loads, we need to ensure that the power supplies that are being provided to them is continuous in nature. So, along with the supply from the utility mains, there is a power converter device that is connected in between the utility grid supply and the load, and it ensures that continuous and clean power is available to the critical load always. So, let us look into the classification of the UPS. Basically, a UPS can be divided into three types. The first being the offline UPS, and the second one is the line interactive UPS, and the third one is the online UPS. So, let us start with the first one. I have drawn the basic block diagram of an offline UPS. So, we have got the supply available from the utility mains, and it is a 50 hertz 230 volt supply normally available in India. Okay. So, and that is connected to the load by way of this complete system, which is called UPS. Inverter is one of the part of UPS. Normally there is sometimes a confusion about UPS and inverter, and sometimes people start seeing the function of inverter and UPS as the same. It's not so. Inverter is part of the UPS system. Okay, and let us see how. So, in an offline UPS, the utility main is connected to the load and is always providing the supply to the load. Okay, and whenever this utility mains get there is some fault, or it stops providing the power supply, then the battery of the UPS system then takes over and it starts providing the power. So, let us see how it works. So, this utility main is connected by way of this this is a surge suppressor. This is surge suppressor, and then to the radio frequency filter, and it is connected to the load by way of this this is a type of arrangement which is basically a static switches which are connected to the load, and this NC basically stand for normally connected, and NO stands for normally open. So, this NC, it basically stands for normally connected. Okay, let me take just a different pen here, and this NO, it stands for normally open. So, this circuit is normally connected. Okay. So, let me just tell you what exactly this NC and NO is. It is basically a triac, or a set of thyristors which are connected in anti-parallel, and they act as static switches. Okay. So, they act as static switches. So, we can this supply, it is always available to the load when we put the firing angle for these for the thyristor or the anti-parallel connected SCR as 0 degree. Okay, and it always gets disconnected from the load when we keep the firing angle at 180 degrees. So, NC connection means that it is always connected to the load. That means the firing angle is kept at 0 degrees. Okay. and that is automatically controlled rather. Okay, so whenever the supply goes off, the utility main supply goes off, then the static switch in the lower part, it takes over, so and it gets connected to the load. Okay, so just see what is happening in the in this line. Okay, so the utility main, it is given to the battery charger. It is nothing but a AC to DC converter, which is converting the AC supply to DC, and that is used to charge the battery. Okay, and then this is given to the inverter, which converts the DC supply into AC supply, and then suitable filter is connected at the output of the inverter to suppress the otherwise harmonics that are present in the inverter, and then it is just connected to this static switch and then to the load. So this normally is not in the circuit. So this circuit behaves when the upper line conducts and the load gets supply from the main, but in case and at the same time this battery is connected to the utility main by way of this charger, and it gets full charged. Okay, and definitely this battery charger has got some arrangement for checking that the state of the charge of the battery. So whenever the battery is fully charged, it just stops charging this battery also. Okay, and then whenever this utility main stops supplying power because of one reason or the other to the load, then this battery takes over, and it by way of this inverter the load is connected. Okay, and hence a constant supply is ensured to the load. Okay, so and moreover this static switch operates quite fast, and normally the time period is from 2 to 20 milliseconds. Okay, and so the beta is on the leftmost side. Okay, fine. Now come to the second type of UPS, which is the line interactive UPS. Okay, so only difference between this circuit and this circuit is that there is another block here, which is the AVR. AVR stands for the automatic voltage regulator. Okay, so this ensures that the supply which is coming from the mains, okay, is kept to a permissible value to be given to the load. Okay, so it may happen that there is a voltage dip or voltage gets increased because of some reason at this point, and in this case the offline UPS, that will directly be translated and it appears across the load. Okay, so this is a certain disadvantage which is associated with the offline UPS, in which any type of distortion which is in the main supply, it translates and get connected across the load, which is not there in case of line interactive UPS. Okay, so this AVR ensure that the load get a clean supply. Okay, then this AVR is connected to the battery charger here. So normally this line is connected, the utility main is supplying the load, but there is AVR in between which ensure clean power supply. Okay, and this is a NC, means normally connected switch, and then again the remaining part of the operation remains same. So we have this battery charger which charges these batteries. Okay, and inverter ensures that the DC supply is converted into AC, and then it is given to the load when the utility mains fail. The supply from the utility main, it fails, then this battery takes over and it supplies power to the load, okay, and thereby ensure that the load is always getting power. The third type of UPS, which is called the online UPS, in this, the basic difference between this online UPS and the offline UPS is that now the load is being getting power from the utility mains by way of these rectifier and inverter, and then through filter, okay. So this line is in operational all the time. You could see here, this line is in operation when the utility main do not supply power. So that means this battery and inverter and filter, and then it is fed to the load, while here the utility main is always connected to the load by way of this rectifier and the inverter, okay. And the inverter is suitably controlled. So which we will see in the next lecture, the various components of the UPS. I will discuss that in detail. So the signal, the control signal, which is given to the inverter, and that it is basically a feedback signal. This ensures that the output voltage of the inverter is kept beyond the permissible limits of the harmonic distortion and the voltage level, okay. So is it fine? So how it operates? So this battery is charged simultaneously, and at the same time load is being given power from the utility main by way of this rectifier and inverter, okay. And you could see that battery comes into operation only when this utility main fails. So in that case, the power transfer now is from the battery, and this gets disconnected from the in this system, and the battery is now providing the power to the load, okay. And you could see that the transfer of the power is quite fast here, okay. The transfer basically from the utility main to the battery is quite fast. And one more thing is that this battery is trickle charged. Trickle charged. So what is trickle charging? We will see when we will discuss batteries of the UPS, okay. So there are various schemes by which battery is charged, and one part of that scheme is trickle charging, in which the small voltage of the battery, which gets reduced because of providing supply to the load when utility mains stops supplying the power, and then when it comes back, then it starts providing the battery the power, and the voltage is restored to the full limit, okay. Now one interesting thing is that the utility main has got one bypass connection here also, okay. So there is a static bypass switch here, and which turns on when this UPS system, these parts of UPS system, any part, it starts malfunctioning, or it has got some because of some fault, they do not perform the intended function of continuously providing the power to the load. Then what is done? We need to provide power to the load. So now this static bypass switch is turned on, and now the utility mains start providing power to the load, and in the meantime this part of the circuit is taken care of. It is the fault is checked and it is rectified, okay. So I hope you understand the basic operation of the three types of UPS: the offline UPS, the line interactive UPS, and the online UPS. Just a small correction here. Actually, in online UPS, the load is being supplied from the battery always. Okay, at the same time, the battery is also getting charged. So that's the process. So that means if battery is always in operation, so it is getting discharged also and charged also simultaneously, then the life of the battery reduces considerably. So that is one of the disadvantage of this online UPS. Okay, there is charging and discharging of the battery simultaneously. Okay, and the other part remains same, that whenever this utility mains stops providing the power, then battery is there to provide the load. Okay. Let me now quickly talk about the specification of UPS. So whenever you are buying UPS, there are a few things you need to look into, and those specifications are mentioned on the UPS itself. Okay. So the most important thing is the power rating, and it depends on the size of the load. So whether you are will be using the UPS for a domestic load, the house, or for some commercial purpose, so accordingly the power rating of the UPS will vary. It normally is in 1 to 5 kVA and even larger. Power rating is normally in kVA. Okay. Then the output voltage, it normally gives 230 volt with some tolerance of 0.5%. Okay. Then output frequency is 50 hertz plus minus 2 hertz, and input voltage for normal operation of UPS, it should vary in between 190 volt to 260 volt. Okay. And similarly the power factor, it is designed for 0.8 lagging power factor. It is better to operate the UPS at a better power factor. Okay. Then backup time is very important, and it pertains to the battery backup time, and normally lies from 30 minutes to 4 hours. It is even for critical system, and wherein you need to just shut down the entire system, you need just lesser time for as backup. Okay. While in some systems you need to continue working for longer time, you need to have a larger backup time. And then harmonic distortion should be less than 5%, but with individual harmonics not more than 3%. Then efficiency should be high, normally greater than 85%, and there should be protection circuit, inbuilt protection circuit within the UPS, which provides protection against over voltage, and then under voltage cutoff should be there. Moreover, the overcurrent protection circuit should also be there. So these are some of the specifications one should look for in a UPS. Okay, thank you for watching.